Okay, let's unpack this. When you think of a high-stakes 48-hour endurance competition, your mind probably goes to a marathon runner, right? Or maybe an F1 driver.
Sure, something physical.
Exactly. But today we're doing a deep dive into something called radiosport, the hyper-focused world of competitive amateur radio.
And the scene you need to picture is, well, it's intense.
It is. We're talking about operators locked in a room for 2 straight days dealing with what they call a pileup.
Which is just a torrent of hundreds of overlapping voices all trying to make contact.
At the exact same time. And what's so fascinating here, I think, is this idea of the operator as the invisible athlete.
That's the perfect term for it. This isn't a test of physical strength. It's pure cognitive warfare.
So the mental game is everything.
It's the defining variable. They are pushing the absolute limits of sustained focus and rapid processing, all while fighting some pretty severe sleep deprivation.
Right. So our mission today is to figure out the exact psychological toolkit these invisible athletes are using to win. Let's start with motivation. Why would anyone volunteer for this? You take someone like Kilo 4 X-Ray, sitting there in front of the gear. What's the driver?
It overwhelmingly boils down to intrinsic motivation.
So not for fame or prize money or anything like that?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
They are chasing mastery. They're chasing their own personal best. They're essentially racing against their own previous contest log.
But 48 hours is such a massive commitment. Is it really just about personal growth, or is there, an equipment validation side to this as well?
Oh, absolutely. The contest log provides this brutally efficient feedback.
Brutally efficient.
Yeah, it exposes every single flaw, every hesitation instantly, and crucially, it acts as a technical benchmark.
For all the gear.
For all the gear.
Yeah.
Months spent optimizing antennas, filtering, it's all validated or invalidated right there on the final score. And for the teams, it's also about social cohesion, that seamless teamwork.
Okay, let's talk about where the human element breaks down, because this sensory overload sounds immense.
The auditory stress is the main thing, yeah.
It sounds like trying to read 60 emails at once, but with your ears. How do they handle that?
Well, the cognitive task is something called selected attention. The mind has to literally rip a single call sign from that roaring chaos.
Just pull one voice out of hundreds.
And decode it, log it instantly. The cognitive load on their working memory is it's immense.
And since time is the ultimate multiplier, the temptation must be to just never stop. So why do the elite competitors voluntarily step away and rest? Isn't that just losing time?
You'd think so, but it's actually a key strategic move. They see strategic rest as part of the competition itself.
To preserve what? Mental clarity.
Exactly. To preserve that mental clarity, you absolutely need for split-second decisions in the final hours. You can't make smart choices when your brain is just fried.
So what happens when that stress really peaks? A massive equipment failure, or they just hit a physical wall. How do they do a mental reset on the battlefield?
That's where mental skills training MST comes in. When that performance anxiety spikes, they have to engage in what's called physiological regulation.
Basically rebooting their nervous system.
That's it, treating it like a circuit that needs a quick reset.
So what's the go-to technique for that in the moment?
It's usually the silent box breathing technique. Super simple.
Free breathing.
Yeah, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out. It's a reliable, almost clinical way to just fight that rush of adrenaline and stop frustration from spiraling.
And that handles the crisis.
Yeah.
But what about proactive training? I mean, is visualization just them picturing a trophy?
No, it's much more specific. It's visualizing the process of winning. They rehearse these flawless operational sequences in their mind.
Like, hear the call, log it, send the exchange.
Exactly. And when an error inevitably happens, that's where self-talk comes in. They use a kind of clean slate command. Something like, mistake accepted, next call, run.
So just compartmentalize it and move on.
You have to. It keeps the forward momentum.
So it sounds like the ultimate secret is turning all these complex actions into reflexes, into, automation.
Precisely.
Oh.
Automation. It minimizes the conscious cognitive effort, right? Which frees up the brain entirely for that high-level strategic decision-making.
So things like which radio band is opening up or when to take that next strategic break.
That's it.
So when you boil it all down, if all the top competitors have amazing, expensive hardware,
which they do,
then the equipment just becomes a constant. And the real differentiator, the deciding variable, it's the mental game.
Right. When the final log gets submitted, you realize the ultimate challenge was never the signal. It was never the gear. It was always the operator's own self-control.
And that's something to think about, isn't it? In your own high-pressure environments, at work or at home, what tasks could you automate to free up your own mental energy for the big decisions? Or maybe what small technique like that box breathing could transform your performance the next time you feel that stress start to spike?